in this episode.
There is one, and there might be the Jason Takes Manhattan that is not gory. It's a little upsetting, the kills in it, but
a little upsetting.
Welcome. You're listening to PaleoCheeze Podcast, episode 44, Friday the 13th, part 1 and 2.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Jeremiah Bannister.
And I'm Chad Lutzke.
And you are watching or listening to PaleoCheeze Podcast, part of the Project Entertainment Network. And Chad, we are going to be talking about something pretty cool. It was your idea.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're not doing like a deep dive, but Jeremiah has only seen like maybe 1.5 of the Friday the 13th movies.
One and a half. I saw 2 of them.
Okay, two of them.
I saw number 1 and number 2. Well, no, I saw 2.5. Because remember, I've seen what is it, New York? Or
yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, Jason Takes Manhattan. I saw it, but I was young, so that's the half. Because I don't really remember very much of it. I remember a boombox scene or something like that.
Here's why I brought this up. Because, well, first of all, it's Friday the 13th. It's Jason Voorhees. It's one of these things that everybody knows who Jason is. Sometimes people confuse him with Michael Myers or whatever, and but everybody knows that the dude with a hockey mask kills people, But what a lot of people don't know is, for example, like the very first movie, he doesn't kill anybody. And so people can go their whole life thinking, oh yeah, I know all about, Jason and Friday the 13th. And then they finally sit down to watch the first one and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Or even the second one. It's like, well, where's the hockey mask? They don't realize that there's some lore that goes deeper than just Jason and a machete and a hockey mask. So I wanted to dissect that. And also, even though Michael Myers is my favorite slasher guy, Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise because Halloween 1 is good, really good. Halloween 2 is really good. Halloween 3 doesn't deal with Michael Myers at all. It's a whole different kind of a beast. And then Halloween, the new one that just came out in 2018, out of the like 8 or 9 Halloween movies available, only 3 of them are good. Whereas Friday the 13th, there's many more because they're kind of a dumber version of this. I can't,
the bar's not as high, so it attains it.
Yes, the bar is not as high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Michael Myers is not really a laughable killer, whereas Jason kind of is from the get-go, Whereas Michael Myers' tone is different. It's a little bit more serious. It's a little bit more believable. And I mean, you've got people like LL Cool J in one of the Halloween movies, Busta Rhymes doing karate in one of the Halloween movies. Really? So they get really bad, but you already start with that with Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So the bar is not set high. And it came out a couple years before Friday the 13th. So I think the creators of that even admitted to being just ripping off Halloween. But Friday the 13th is also the only franchise that I can think of that gets better with each movie within the first 4 movies.
I don't know, bro.
So
we're gonna talk about this. Yeah.
You watched Friday the 13th for the first time, what, last year?
It hasn't. I don't even think it's been 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't watch it. You failed to watch it for the show just recently. So it's not fresh in your mind.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's true.
I'm throwing it under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not fresh in your mind, but you started to mention earlier that you were shocked that Jason's mom was the one doing the killings. Spoiler alert.
It's weird. Isn't it weird a little bit to talk about spoiler alerts and stuff this far, this long?
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all out there.
But a joke.
But the truth is, I didn't know. And so, I mean, if there's the rare bird like me that has no clue and never seen it, they're going to watch it and be like, what? You ruined it. So no, but I had no clue that that's what it was about. And I always just thought, in fact, I remember thinking like, well, where's the mask?
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for it. Even in number 2, I was waiting. I'm like, dude, where's the mask? I'm waiting for the mask. And it's this like scarecrow potato sack thing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, in a weird way, dude, that's pretty, it's pretty darn creepy. To be
Yeah, I
quite
thought so.
frank, I mean, that's not pleasant to look at.
Mhm.
So you're going to be scared in real life. I don't know what would be scarier. Seeing that hockey mask, it's iconic, and that is really, really creepy with the holes and stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But dude, some guy wearing that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's creepy in its own right.
With just one eye, yeah. So you kind of alluded and showed your cards a little bit just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah,
to maybe liking the first movie better than the second.
I do a lot.
Maybe you should have watched the first one again.
I remember enough about the first one, and
I got a theory right now.
What is
Okay,
it?
I know that you just finished the second one.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than trying to squeeze a movie in that you're not really in the mood for because you have to, because it's an obligation. I think it could take some of the fun out of it. I think if you were like, oh, I got a week to do this, but I'm going to sit down and relax and watch this movie right now, I think you'd have enjoyed it more.
Well, I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I just even when I went back, I watched a couple of videos of, and I wish I remembered the guy's name that did the death counts. Dead Meat, right? It's their kill count, and they have the Friday the 13th, 1980 kill count. I went and I watched that. And then I watched the kill count for the second one, and it's exactly as I kind of thought and felt. And that was that the kill scenes in the second one, to me, weren't nearly as cool, with the exception of one. There was one kill scene from the second one that maybe is the winner. Maybe is, well, it would have been the winner except for a freeze frame, which they did a couple times in the first one. Okay. So, which I think it ruins it. So it's like they both have pros and cons, but on the whole, if I put it on a scale, I would say not only the kill scenes, but even just the story, even just the characters and stuff. I liked the first one, and I enjoyed watching the second one, even though it was kind of rushed because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what we needed to do. I totally forgot. We're supposed to watch that on our own. And I did it really quickly. I was excited to watch it. Because I'd never seen it. And so, but you may have a point. I may have to watch it a second time and give it, a good, and do it again in sequence this time, and do it, relax, pop some popcorn, some licorice, my favorite hot chocolate or something, and just watch it and see how I feel after that. But first impression, number one is number one.
Well, another thing with comparison with Halloween versus Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is about the kills. And Halloween is more the atmosphere. As a matter of fact, in the original Halloween, there's only a very small amount of blood. Yet it's scarier, and it's a better film. But yeah, the first one for me, man, I revisited it again. I've probably seen the first one maybe 4 or 5 times, and I revisited it again. It was either early this year or late last year. I watched like the first 5 or 6 of them again, and I don't care for it that much, man. Maybe I would imagine the time that it came out, when there's no such thing as like Jason and the hockey mask and all that stuff, that it would probably be kind of a cool slasher with a twist at the end. But, by the time a lot of people go in seeing that, either they already know that it's the mom, or it's kind of like Psycho. You see the shower scene, but then when you see the actual movie, the shower scene isn't as impactful. It's one of those things that pop culture reference the pop culture can ruin an experience.
Yeah.
How it was meant to be experienced.
And as I said, very few people are as fortunate as me, where I being able to see this late in my life and not have a clue. And part of me, I was, when I was anticipating this thing from pop culture that there's a certain expectation going into it, but I was also pleasantly surprised that it wasn't the case. And in fact, I thought that was kind of awesome that I was taken off guard rather than, oh, that's what I expected. Yeah. Because I know it's coming, because it's made its way into pop culture. So we all know now, but I'm expecting this, and I was thrown off guard, even though it only lasted for one, and then thrown for a loop for the second one, still thinking that the hockey mask is going to be there. Yeah. And lo and behold, it's not. And so I was pleasantly surprised twice.
Now the series does get gorier, for sure.
You think so? You think number 2 got gorier than number 1?
No, I mean 3, 4. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there is one, and there might be the Jason Takes Manhattan that is not gory. It's a little upsetting, the kills in it, but
a little upsetting. I can just imagine you're all rankled, dude. You're grinding your teeth, ticked off. Oh.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, it's like I said earlier. That's what you watch it. You're like, how is Jason going to kill this guy? Okay, machete. How is he going to kill this guy? Oh, with a bed. How is he going to kill this one? With a sleeping bag. This one with a guitar. So
yeah.
But when the kill, you don't get your blood, you don't get your flayed throat or anything like that. Yeah, it's a letdown.
Yeah.
So your favorite kill for the first movie, what is it?
Kevin Bacon, bro.
Yeah,
Kevin
that's kind
Bacon.
of a given.
Yeah, kind of a given.
I think my second favorite was probably the chick who got the axe to the face.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. So yes. So my favorite one was the one that is a lot of people's favorites. And I didn't know that apparently the whole rig that was supposed to make it bleed and everything, that it was a malfunction. So the guy who did it had to breathe through this straw or whatever to make it go out.
Which we have done in our own movies.
I was gonna say that, man. We did that. You did it.
Yeah, I did.
And yeah, which oral movie was that? It's hilarious, man. Chore
Day, yeah.
Chore Day, where I'm this very old man who's got issues with
incontinent man.
Incontinent man. And there's a long scene anyway, doing the vacuuming without the vacuum touching the floor. It's insane. But there's a part where I'm thinking that the dog in the microwave is on fire.
Yeah.
we're saying a whole bunch of information, but you blew through a straw. And I remember, what was it, man? Was it a Black and Mild, dude? And you're puffing on it, and you had to get beneath the video, and you're, blowing through this straw, and you see the smoke coming up. It was awesome. Yeah.
Old school, man.
But I thought it was interesting. Some of the worst kill scenes I felt were in the first one too, where it's like below the screen and stuff, and then like I really don't like, and I don't know why they did this. Maybe you've got an answer for it, but where they fade to white and it's like a freeze frame. Like, what's the point of that?
Probably some style issue they thought was cool. Like when you do the Access Vision thing for the first time and you use way too much green screen and you use the like rainbowy pixelated effect and all that kind of stuff and all the transitions way too much.
Yeah, every 5 seconds is another swipe.
Yeah. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But I think that Friday the 13th series has some of the absolute best music for a horror film. I love that music.
I love the music for that. Overall, the movie was a lot of fun. The first one, but the second one had maybe my favorite. It would have been my favorite kill scene if it didn't have a freeze frame at the end.
At the end of the kill or at the end of the scene?
At the end of the kill. Well, yes, he's dying. And it's a he.
Okay. Is he sitting down?
He's sitting down. down.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
Dude, that cat, man.
I love that kill, not just for the brutality, but it was kind of a jump scare because you did not see that machete coming.
Well, it's a weird angle. They're creeping up from the back, the camera, but the knife is from the front.
Right.
It's almost like it got thrown or something like that, and it's spinning and gets stuck in there. And it was deep, dude.
Yes.
And homeboy just goes down the stairs. I mean, the odds of that are astounding, but it was great. It's like he gets hit and he's like, oh, and his wheelchair goes backward. And then it just keeps going down this really, really long set of stairs. It's like Naked Gun,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is like the OJ scene, dude.
That wheelchair going down the stairs was both disturbing and hilarious at the same time.
It was disturbing and hilarious that made it, in my opinion, like my favorite one. Like because I'm blown away by the intensity of it. But also, it is admittedly hilarious. Like, I'm like, should I be laughing at this? Like, I feel badly. I mean, the guy's in a wheelchair, but
I guess my second favorite kill was probably the claw hammer in the back of the head. That looked like it really hurt.
Yes. Yeah. The cop.
It wasn't gory or anything, but man, that guy just,
And his face, the cop in that moment, man, getting in the face. I mean, his mouth he looks legitimately terrified.
Yeah.
Like in excruciating pain, legitimately terrified. But what was he doing going in that stinking house anyway? He's going in that shack in the middle of the woods, dude. You don't do that. That's not what you do. There should be a rule, just like very deeply entrenched within the hearts of men and women. You don't go in shacks like that in the woods by yourself.
The fact that he was even chasing him
for that long.
Like, what are you going to stop him for? Is it because maybe that place is supposed to be off limits, or
it's condemned? Well, and he was running around with a bag, a pillowcase over his head. I mean, obviously something's weird about it, you know, but I don't know. Yeah, why did he go run? He ran for a long time. He wasn't even winded either. You know, he's one of those like very heavy guys like Chris Farley that was able to do these crazy gymnastics like movements with his body at, you know, being very obese and stuff. This guy was running forever. He's barely winded. Said, holy cow. You know, and then he goes in there and he just gets jacked. But the setting, the scene, the way it was situated in the frame with it behind him like that, just, classic moment. And he's gone.
Well, I'm really looking forward to 3 and 4 because those are my favorite. I really like 5 too. A lot of people don't like 5. And when we get to that, I'll tell you why, or you'll actually might be able to figure out why. But 3 and 4 are my absolute favorite.
We're going to do that when? Not next week.
No, not next week.
Yeah, because ironically, we have a special guest.
Ironically, that we're not doing it on Friday the 13th, which is
how did that work out? How do we? And you're a Friday the 13th kid.
Yeah,
like on your birthday,
dude. Let me tell you something, and I may have told this story already, but I think it might be worth repeating just because of what you just said. And I was born on Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
and when I was a little boy, my mom took me to some swim lessons, and she sat in the bleachers, and I was drowning, and the 2 people that were supposed to be watching me were making out.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah.
You're making it up.
No,
you're making this up, dude.
No, I'm totally serious, man. My mom had to run over there and start yelling at him, and she's like, "He's drowning! What are you doing?" Dude, totally serious.
I've learned my lesson, man. And you could probably take an astounding amount of advantage on this one. I've learned my lesson to question the authenticity of these crazy stories that I never heard anything about ever since I learned about your sister.
You learned to believe them?
I learned to believe you, dude. I'm like, I used to be like, nope, he's tricking me. And now I'm just in the back of my head, I'm always like, you know, but his sister, man. It's a true story. So I believe you. And yes, Friday the 13th, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, man. It's written in the stars, dude.
Well, spoiler alert, I didn't drown.
What? You didn't?
No.
Oh, man.
But I did have a tremendous fear of water until I was maybe, I don't know, 12 or something like that, maybe 10. Yeah.
That would freak me out, dude. That would freak me out. But look at the similarities, man. How crazy is that?
It is. It's pretty cool. And
they were making out, and they're supposed to be watching you, and they're all doing that.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together until last year.
Well, it explains that weird skull in the back, dude. You have the candles off of the frame, but you're down by a lake. Like you are. You live in a house by a lake. Yeah. No. And dude, real quick, man, did he take the clothes off that old man? No, it looks like the same pants and boots as that old dude had. It was the Peeping Tom.
No, dude, because he had like overalls and a flannel on, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I was just wondering, man, because I saw the feet and stuff, and I thought that was Jason. And the next thing you know, it's not. You know, the dude was all peeping in on stuff, and just that creepy old man. That's the creepy old man from number 1.
Yep, Crazy Ralph.
Crazy Ralph, dude, and his voice, his weird voice.
So not next week, but the week after, we'll do 3 and 4, and 3 is 3D. So obviously, won't be 3D, but it's hilarious to watch a 3D film, and you see all the excuses that they make. You know, when they're poking stuff at the camera, you can tell, oh, this was for my 3D benefit here. I'm supposed to look cool with glasses on.
Can you watch that in 3D now with like 3D glasses?
Yeah, but it has to have it has to be that like version of it where the
Oh, yeah.
otherwise, no.
Dude, that would be a lot of fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen a couple 3D movies at home, and I think it'd be fun to watch a scary one, you know?
I saw a scary one I saw Amityville 3D with glasses on in the theater when it came out, like 82, 83, something like that.
I've still never seen Amityville.
84?
Never seen it.
Oh.
I know. It's just another one. It's just another one that's coming. I know it. I know it's coming, dude.
You know what? That would be a really good one to do with Hunter and Jack. Amityville horror, the original versus the remake.
I'm down. And this time I won't jump the gun. It's one of those movies. They're kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street. I've only seen, I think, one of those. Mm-hmm. And I only remember part of it because I think it was one where like his face was pepperoni pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one I really remember at all. I'd still like to see all the Phantasm too.
I'm not a huge fan of Freddy Krueger. I like my slasher killers to be voiceless and not crack one-liners.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because he is, but it's like a dream guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some cool things.
Like Sandman.
Yeah, I'm just not I mean, the first one's okay. And then, I'm huge Phantasm fan, but those all fall apart. I mean, none of them beat the first one. But they're just worth watching anyway if you're into, because you're never going to get that stuff anywhere else. The tall man, the balls, the evil Jawas. You're not going to get that in any other movie. So
all right, man. Well, this has been a lot of fun, bro.
Yeah. If anybody wants to reach us, you can look at the description on the podcast or the video. Yeah. And all our info will be down there.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear from you.
Until next week when we have our guest. Probably shouldn't. I mean, he's lined up, but probably shouldn't say anything just yet.
In case.
Yeah.
In case. That'd be a big bummer. We'll just say really, really cool guest. You know, with a really cool story. You will not want to miss him. And it was really awesome how Chad was able to wrangle that one in so quickly, actually. So, because you said, look, I'd love to have this guy on. He's got a great story. I really like his stuff. And then you called me like a week later and you're like, dude, okay, we've got him set. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I said, wow, man. Yeah, you pulled those connections, dude.
Yes.
All right, man. Until next time.
Choo choo.